Greetings from the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse. Today is Sunday, September 7th, 1975.
The Caribbean Radio Lighthouse is a Christian radio station located on the island of Antigua, with a potential listening audience of over 1.5 million listeners stretching from Puerto Rico to the northern Windward Islands. The Radio Lighthouse reaches islands not reached by other fundamental Baptist radio stations. Although the Eastern Caribbean islands are a popular cruise destination, there are many spiritual and physical needs represented among the residents. The goal of the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse is not to replace the local church, but rather to strengthen local churches and proclaim the gospel to those who would never step foot in a church. The Radio Lighthouse is currently broadcasting a combination of English and Spanish programming, which include edifying Bible teaching, thought-provoking archaeological and science programs, captivating Christian drama, exciting broadcasts for children, up-to-the-minute news, and beautiful, uplifting, Christ-honoring music.
Over 30,000 children have written to join the Little Lighthouse Club, a children's program produced by Caribbean Radio Lighthouse to provide Bible memory and life lessons from the Bible. Over the past 34 years, God has used the Radio Lighthouse not only in the lives of individuals, but also to see churches planted. Most recently, Iglesia Baptista de la Gracia, a Spanish church, has been started as a direct result of the Spanish ministry of the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse. God has also led men who were saved through the station's ministry to become pastors of local churches.
My name is Jerome Martin. My story began when I was a Rasta living in the hills with other Rastas. We were very religious and listening to reggae music. We smoked marijuana. This was a major part of our religious practice. It happened that we began listening to religious radio station. We found Radio Lighthouse to be very different from all the other religious stations, especially in its music and its message. The Lord has used the Lighthouse to play a great role in my life. It is because of the Lighthouse why I became a Christian, went to Bible college, and now pastoring the same church that I got saved at, Maranatha Baptist Church.
We are Nathan and Renee Owens, and it is a blessing for us to look back and see how God has shaped and led us to be used by Him to broadcast the gospel to the lost souls of the Eastern Caribbean. I grew up in Niger, West Africa, where my parents were missionaries, and from an early age I saw the need for willing missionaries. I accepted Jesus as my Savior at the age of 5, and at the age of 13, publicly surrendered to use my life and talents for proclaiming the gospel. I attended a Christian college and received an undergraduate degree in broadcast engineering in 2007 and a master's degree in broadcast management 2 years later. While on a missions trip to Antigua after my junior year of college, the Lord burdened my heart to return to the Lighthouse to serve full-time. God used John 12:26 to confirm in my heart that I was to serve Him at the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse in Antigua.
I was also saved at the age of 5 and publicly surrendered my life in junior high to serve God wherever He wanted me to. Hoping to use my skills to aid the needs of a local church, I earned a degree in accounting. Nathan and I met at college and began dating our sophomore year after being convinced it was the Lord's will for us to serve Him together in missions. In June of 2007, my mother and I were able to spend a month in Antigua, during which time Nathan returned to Antigua for 2 weeks. The Lord used that trip to confirm in my heart that Antigua is indeed where we are to serve Him. Nathan and I were married on June 19, 2009, at Eastside Baptist Church in Thomasville, Georgia, where we both are members and actively involved in ministries.
Hello, I'm Pastor Tim Robson from Nathan and Renee's Sending Church, Eastside Baptist in Thomasville, Georgia. We at Eastside have had the privilege of watching Renee grow from childhood to spiritual maturity. She's been an active member, serving in many areas such as teaching children, a leader in our youth group, and also very active in our church choir. Since Nathan's become a member of Eastside, he also has proved to be a very determined, ministry-minded individual who has been actively involved in the church. I believe that God has uniquely matched their skills and abilities to meet the needs of the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse, a ministry that assists local churches across the Caribbean, one that we have been familiar with for over 25 years. I personally would like to ask you to prayerfully consider supporting Nathan and Renee through your prayers and also through your financial support as the Lord so leads.
The Caribbean Radio Lighthouse is operated by church-supported missionaries and a paid staff of dedicated national workers. Renee and I will be replacing Kurt and Barbara Waite, who are retiring after their faithful service in Antigua since 1975. We will be serving under Baptist International Missions Incorporated as we minister at the Radio Lighthouse. We will be working with two other missionary couples, Jerry Baker, who is the station manager, and his wife Linda, and Ken and Nancy Kirkland. Ken maintains the station's computer system and financial books. When we arrive in Antigua, my main duties will include maintaining the towers, transmitters, and studio facility, which will all require regular care due to the corrosive environment and hurricanes. I will also help to maintain the groundskeeping equipment, organize construction projects, and fill an occasional board shift at the control board.
My first job is to be a supporting wife, which involves caring for many household needs. Daily tasks will be time-consuming without many of the conveniences such as reliable water and electricity, which we are used to here in America. In addition to helping maintain the music library, I will assist with keeping the financial books at the station, which include conversions to the Eastern Caribbean currency. I will also be helping with the mission teams that come from the United States to help with special projects.
In addition to our main ministry, Renee and I look forward to assisting local churches and pastors by helping with church programs. On our survey trip, we had the opportunity to work with ministries at Maranatha Baptist Church, including children's and youth programs. Please pray for our effectiveness as we hold forth the word of life to the next generation of unsaved souls in the Caribbean. We are desperate for young blood. Those were the words of Kurt Waite as he told me of the need for a new engineer to maintain the station's equipment when he and Barbara retire from the field. Who will reach the next generation? With no one to maintain the equipment, the Caribbean Radio Lighthouse will fail to reach the next 30,000 children and their families.